Hey, it's me, Anthousa, and welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the first of the Theros Beyond Death Mythic exclusive bundles. So, the first one is Anthousa Deck Toolkit. And so, in this bundle, you get Anthousa Citizen Hero. It's a Mythic, 14 mana, 4/5, Heroic. So, every time you target this creature with a spell, you're going to trigger this ability. This creature gets +X until end of turn. X is the number of green gems. And then Ferocious, be careful about this one. So a Ferocious ability is active as long as you control a creature with base power 5 or greater. So when I was first testing this one out, I actually thought that it wasn't working properly because I had gotten Anthousa up to larger than 5 power. Not just until end of turn, but just with permanent buffs. But it's base power, so keep that in mind. And at end of turn, the first creature card in your hand without mana gains half its mana. Now, Anthousa herself is actually a very powerful card. I thought that she would be a strong card before the set came out, and now that I've gotten to play with her, it's only reinforced that I think she is a good card. However, she is actually not the best card in this bundle, in my opinion. Eidolon of Blossoms is. Now, even though Eidolon of Blossoms was changed from how we first saw it, so originally it was Constellation, so whenever you play an aura or an enchantment, you trigger Constellation. And the Constellation is draw a card, and then that card is disabled until the beginning of your next turn, then convert 3 gems to green. Now, originally, this card was going to be draw a card, then convert 3 gems to green. And spoiler alert, if it came out like that, you could just loop it infinitely. I've gotten some pretty insane loops with this card as it is, and having the card that is drawn be disabled prevents this from being a loop machine that you have to worry about going up against and dealing with loop timer shenanigans in Standard. So I actually am sad about this change. I'm happy about it because it means that I don't have to go up against that sort of nonsense, and I'm sad about it because now that I've played with it, I want to break it even more, but no can do. Then the next card in the bundle is Strength from the Fallen. It's a 10 mana support Constellation, so once again, when you play an aura or an enchantment, trigger this. Target creature gets +X until end of turn. X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Now, when I first read this card, I was like, there's no way that you're going to be triggering this very much. But I had forgotten about Eidolon of the Blossoms. So I've been finding that I can pretty easily trigger this 6 times in a turn. And in triggering this 6 times in a turn, if I'm using something like Gather the Pack, because this is green, you find that you can actually buff your creatures up pretty substantially pretty quickly. Now, the third rare, the final card in the bundle, Boon Satyr, is an 8 mana aura, and if you control 2 or less creatures, create a Nyxborn Boon Satyr token. That's a 4/2 token with trample. Otherwise, target creature you control gets +4/+2 and gains trample. That creature gains enchanted. When this creature dies, create a Nyx Boon Satyr token. And once again, that Satyr token is a 4/2. Now, I was actually really pleasantly surprised with how the cards in this bundle played out. The Boon Satyr is not very strong, so as the bundle goes, if I were to use it, I would use Anthousa, Eidolon, and Strength from the Fallen. This is just if I already owned everything, which I do. If you are a newer player, then this card is definitely powerful, but for someone who is in Platinum and has a substantial collection, it's not going to be as powerful. So with that, I want to actually go ahead, show you guys some gameplay before I give my final opinions on the bundle. Before I do that, it should absolutely be said that Oktagon did allow me to make the video with these cards. That is, Oktagon gave me these cards to make the video on. So this is absolutely sponsored content. But let's go ahead, see how all of the cards play together. So the deck that I ultimately settled on after some testing that I really liked that uses the cards is this one right here. It's a Calyx Destiny's Hand deck. This isn't me just using Calyx because I was given Calyx. It's me using Calyx because I really like how that third ability works in conjunction with Anthousa. So Calyx's third ability is going to be giving us an aura and an enchantment from our graveyard to our hand with full mana every turn. So if we can find a way of getting auras and enchantments into our graveyard, then Calyx is going to be giving us 2 additional cards per turn that will both trigger the Eidolon of the Blossoms, and one of which will trigger Anthousa, Citizen Hero. Now, the other pieces in the deck, what other auras am I running? Because naturally, if we're running Anthousa, we want more auras. Actually, pause. Eidolon of the Blossom also converts gems to green, which means that Anthousa, as you trigger the heroic, is going to be getting even more of a heroic buff as a result of the Eidolon of the Blossoms being down. This is actually of the bundles that I've played, and I've played now all of the bundles that have come out since Oktagon has started making the bundles. This is probably the one where the cards work together the best. So Hydra's Growth is the first of the aura cards. I do not have Chromanticore. If I had it, then I would absolutely be using it. But this card nonetheless is pretty lethal in this deck. So target creature you control gets +2/+2. That creature gains enchanted, and at the beginning of your turn, that creature gets +X/+X, where X is that creature's base power. Yes, I know that I've highlighted this card in 2 videos already. It is very good. Like, very good. Now, also in this deck, I'm running Sentinel's Mark. So target creature you control gets +1/+2 and Vigilance. And then with Addendum, it gains Lifelink. Addendum is if it's in your hand with full mana at the beginning of your turn, you get that permanent lifelink. And I really like having that permanent lifelink. I see this kind of as a cheaper, with more abilities version of Mantle of Webs. Omen of the Hunt is going to be even more green gem conversion. And on top of that, it's going to be fetching lands when it pops itself. We've got Castle Garenbrig for converting even more gems to green. Gather the Pack for dumping creatures in our graveyard to make it so that our third ability with Calyx is going to be bringing them back. We've got Deadbridge Chant, which once things start going in the graveyard is going to make our graveyard even bigger, which is going to give us both more things for Calyx to bring back, and on top of that, more things to buff us up with Strength from the Fallen. And then finally, I've got Boon Satyr in the deck. That being said, I'm doing this so that you can see all of the cards in the bundle. However, in my testing, the card that I actually liked the most in this particular deck was, I actually replaced Boon Satyr with Tajik Legion's Edge, because Tajik has that activate 2, fetch the next aura from your library. And also on top of that, he gives you at the beginning of your opponent's turn, your other creatures gain prevent damage until end of turn. So this ability, once we give Anthousa Vigilance, makes Anthousa have prevent damage and Vigilance, and he's going to fetch us more auras, which lets us buff that heroic trigger even more. So Tajik is an awesome card with this. That being said, I do want to show you all of the cards in the bundle together. So let's go ahead, throw this into a match. I'm actually going to be throwing it into a PvE match here, so you can see how it looks when you just really get things going. It's got some really cool synergy. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see how this goes PvE style. So PvE is going to have more health. So ideally we're going to get to see all the things that the deck does, but in like greater prominence. This is actually a super fantastic hand. So the Eidolon is the first piece that we want, followed by Anthousa. The Eidolon just gives us so much card draw that we definitely want that thing first. And on top of the card draw, it also gives us gem conversion. So the Eidolon, you will see very quickly, is the bread and butter of this deck. And for that matter, like the bread and butter of this bundle. It's so good. So good. All right, so Eidolon's buffing up. That's great. We've got a Gather the Pack. That's even better. So I am really pleased about the Gather the Pack, because Gather the Pack means that we're going to start throwing things in the graveyard. And that's going to help for all of the complementary pieces of this deck. So we definitely want that happening. Now you're going to see that the Eidolon is going to be continuing to convert gems. It's making some crazy matches for us, which means that we're also getting a heck of a lot of loyalty really quickly. And there's Deadbridge Chant. So here's where things can start getting really sweet and really nasty for our opponent. That also means that we're going to be really close to getting Calyx's third ability off. And once we get that ability off, we can make so much happen every single turn. Like, you can easily get your creatures into the 100 range with this deck. It's really, really strong. All right, this is just getting better and better. Like, every single turn, this is getting better. So let's take that match over there. So that's going to be the Garenbrig match. And then we're okay with losing Garenbrig, in part because when we play the little green thing that I just played that converts gems, when that breaks, we're going to get another Garenbrig back anyways. So that's okay. We can afford to lose it. And remember, as we convert more gems to green, it's going to make it so that Anthousa becomes even scarier. So do not forget that. All right, so we've got another Anthousa here. We've got a Strength of the Fallen that we can play. We don't need all of those Anthusas. So let's see, we want Strength from the Fallen for sure. We actually definitely want that Boon Satyr so that we can get our third creature down. And then we're going to get a ton of gem conversion. Oh man, this Eidolon is just such a good card. It's really that. It's crazy. All right, let's keep going. So here we want to get Garenbrig down. So I'm going to make that match over there to ensure that we get Garenbrig. Now our next goal is going to be naturally to start buffing up Anthousa. So we want to make it so that our Anthousa gets that Sentinel mark, which we just drew because, of course, you know, this Dryad thing is batty crazy. You'll see that because of the Gather the Pack, we've got things in the graveyard. So Strength from the Fallen is triggering with every single one of these enchantments that we play. And we're playing a lot of enchantments. Like, we're going to be playing 6 enchantments on many, many turns. And so in the next few turns, we should probably be able to reasonably get our creatures into the 100 range unless they get all their devoid things out pretty quickly, which is possible, you know. They could go ahead and take all of our green gems away, but I doubt it. Now, I did say that I wanted to give Anthousa the addendum, but just given how powerful the Eidolon is right now, the Eidolon is actually going to be our first target for addendum, and Anthousa will be the target for our second addendum. So just keep that in mind as we're making our matches here. So here's going to be Garenbrig converting even more to green, and I know Anthousa would become completely and totally massive this turn. You know what? Let's have fun. Who are we kidding? Let's make Anthousa as big as possible. So she's going to move into that first position now, and then I'm going to go ahead and buff up the Eidolon here so that, or actually if I buff up Anthousa, then it'll make it so that she doesn't take damage from the little Eldrazi critter. So let's do that. Let's make Anthousa a big girl because she's nasty. And keep buffing everything else up. So you'll see that, like, there's just so much happening. You can just play so many cards, and that's what's actually what I really love about this bundle. And I'm not just saying that I love this bundle because I was allowed to make this video. I'm saying that I love this bundle because I genuinely love this bundle. Like, I would not have thought that this was as strong as it is if I didn't get to play with it. So there's just so much synergy between all of the cards in the bundle, minus the Satyr right on top. So that card, like I said, is meh, but the other cards are all just so powerful. Let's get rid of this Anthousa here. Let's go ahead and I could actually exile that little Eldrazi token, but I want to make everything even stronger. Yes, I'm a monster. I know I am. That's okay. I'm accepting that. So let's leave the Eldrazi dude there. Let's see how big we can get all of our critters down. So Anthousa, let's just keep buffing you up. Let's give you them sweet buffs. And then let's give Strength from the Fallen to the Eidolon here, just because it's going to be doing the direct damage. Let's actually, you know what? If I give the Eidolon the mark, it's going to swap places with Anthousa, I think. So yeah, it does. Perfect. So now I can go back to buffing Anthousa in peace. So we're going to put more in the graveyard, which is going to make it so that our Constellation thing is even nastier. Although on the downside, now we aren't going to get our third ability to give us 2 cards this turn. But that's okay. We're fine with that, honestly. Let's see if this turn we can still make the Anthousa into the hundreds. I still think it's possible. So with this hand, I now know it's possible. So let's do it. I'm actually going to get rid of one Eidolon to use my first ability here. So let's see. Can we get... Yes, perfect. Hydra's Growth. Fantastic. That gives us something else to target Anthousa with. So let's see what happens here. All right, Hydra's Growth to Anthousa. And then ideally, that's going to trigger some more gem conversion for us. And yet I fail. Oh well, that's fine. We've got an extra match. Let's see what we can make of it. We can get the Sentinel's mark down. Let's take that 5 match here just in case. Nope. So let's see. What will get us the most possible matches? I'm going to get rid of the Dead Bridge chant just because that one's going to be disabled until end of turn. So this might even make it so that we can get a little bit more going this turn. So how big can we make Anthousa? All right, so 71. We just used another Gather the Pack, so that's going to be +10/+10 for every enchantment we play now. So let's keep making her stronger. And so, all right, there's an Eidolon, so we can give her another 10/10. There's another Eidolon, which is going to let us give her another 10/10. And then if that first card can play, perfect, it does. All right, and that's going to be the match. So yeah, there's no way that Eldrazi is going to be able to take this punishment now. So this, I feel like, is a perfect representation of the bundle. You can combo all the cards together, make Anthousa and the Eidolon both really, really big. You've just got insane card advantage, insane gem conversion. There are definitely more ways that you can play the bundle, definitely more ways that you can make everything work. You do not need Calyx for this. You can put this in any green deck and it will work amazingly. So you can put it in Nissa Worldwaker, you can put it in Brokon, you can put it anywhere you want and do some crazy, crazy things. So, all right, let's get into my actual review of the bundle itself. Although I have a feeling that you're probably going to know what I'm going to say. So my final take on the bundle is that if you're okay with spending money on this game and you're okay with putting down that $30 ticket price, then you will not regret buying this bundle. This bundle has really fun and really strong cards, and they play together very well. Anthousa and the Eidolon play very powerful separately. Strength from the Fallen plays very well in a green-black graveyard deck. There's just so many different things you can do with those 3 cards that they're really, really good. They're what you would want to be getting out of a paid bundle. Now, if you aren't up for the sticker price, don't worry. This isn't going to completely redefine the meta. It's just really strong. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it because it's powerful. I'm enjoying it because the cards in it are really good cards. I'm enjoying it because of the synergy. And of course, I love this Eidolon of Blossoms. I love it so much. So I can't wait to tinker with this even more, but I hope this has helped you with determining whether or not you want to get the bundle. If you don't and you just want to see it in action more, I will be making a lot more videos on this. You're actually going to see me playing with it in my stream probably. I'm going to try and find more ways of using that Strength from the Fallen to make really, really big creatures. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one.